Good evening, everyone. My name is Christine Gorman and president of HKDems. This is our January meeting, the meeting in which we elect new officers. So I thank you all for coming on this cold day. I mean, I know virtual, but it's still cold. We have the main agenda item is the election of officers. Is there anything else that we need to put on the agenda? And I just realized I don't have the minutes from, this is not Danny's fault. This is my fault for not downloading the minutes from the last meeting. But we can probably do that later we don't have to approve the minutes as the first thing. So those are the two items I have for the agenda, the election, and I will download the minutes and get them into the chat. Yes, Dan Cressman.
Hey, Christine, not necessarily an agenda item, but just wanted to recognize that today is the National Day of Mourning for Jimmy Carter, since he was such a great Democratic president.
Okay, so I think duly noted.
Yeah.
Anything else?
And a great man of character.
Yeah.
That is sorely missed.
Madam President.
Yes, sir, Ruby.
I would like to, first of all, before we have an election, to personally say thank you to you for your leadership,
Thank you,
for your wisdom, for your kindness, and your friendship. It's been a pleasure to serve with you on the board. I hope I can continue to work with a straight man. We have a big diversity in this club, and I hope that it always remains that way, even when I'm gone. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you so much.
I second all of that. Thank you.
Well, it has been an amazing 3 years, and I'm proud of so many things that we've done together, and I know we will continue to do together because
and you kept us together.
yes. Well, that I'm very proud of that. Good. All right, then without further ado, I think I'm going to turn it over to Paul Devlin to walk us through what's going to happen next on elections.
Thanks, Christine. While people continue to stream in, I just want to share that my father was a delegate to the Democratic National Convention that nominated Jimmy Carter. Unfortunately, he was a delegate for Ted Kennedy. So this is so tonight is our club elections annual meeting to organize that. We open up for all office positions, and the elections committee had created through months of gathering names and putting people together a full slate of names, which was emailed to everybody with all the profiles. At tonight's meeting, we actually technically close nominations. So what I'll do is I'll go through each office, ask if there's any floor nominations for any additional seats beyond what the elections committee promoted. Then we'll close nominations. If there are any contested races, we can allow for people to speak. People can actually speak for all races. So if they, all candidates will be given the opportunity. There could be an accepted motion to waive those speeches if somebody's so inclined. Then once everybody is nominated, we'll close all nominations. Candidates will speak, and then we open up the floor for members to speak on the nominees. Those members will be given 1 minute each to talk about their support or whatever they want to say about any of the candidates. Once the conversations are done, we will send out an OPA vote link. So everybody who, as you're coming in right now, there's a lot of scurrying going on in the background of, who is eligible. And it means that you were a member longer than 90 days before today or had attended a meeting, and you're current with your dues. We will set up a separate Zoom room for people to come in and explain. If they don't receive the OPA vote ballot, they can come into the Zoom room, can either pay their dues now and become eligible if they have been a member longer than 90 days, and then they will receive an OPA vote ballot. Once all that's done, we'll get the OPA vote returns, and we'll have the results. The OPA vote results come out immediately. Anybody have any questions on the process? And I'm not seeing any hands come up on that. All right. So what I'll do is go through each of the positions and the nominees that were presented from the Elections Committee, and then each seat I'll close nominations for that and then close nominations collectively. So for president, we've nominated Sean Coughlin. Are there any other nominations for president? And I'm going to ask, because the room is very crowded, I can't see the full screen. If anybody who wants to say anything, please raise your hand electronically so I can see you. Okay, so after president, vice president, we have nominated Liz Keefe. Any other nominations for vice president? Seeing none, I'll move on. For director of membership and outreach, we've nominated Leslie Babajian Murphy. Any other nominations for membership and outreach? Seeing none, I'll move on. For director of communications, we've nominated Rob Madsen. Any other nominations for director of communications? Seeing none, I'll move on. Director of programming events, we have Alita Lafarge. Anybody else for director of programming and events? Seeing none, I'll move on. Director of political affairs, we have Kevin Collins. Any other nominations for director of political affairs? Seeing none, I'll move on. For treasurer, we have nominated Barbara Connect. If there's any other nominees for treasurer? Seeing none, I'll move on. For corresponding secretary, we have Kat Lafferty. Any other nominees? Seeing none, I'll move on. For recording secretary, we have Danny Rosemarin. Any other nominees for recording secretary? Seeing none, I'll move on. For members at large, members at large, the number of seats is determined by the number of eligible voting members. If we have over 125 eligible voting members, then we have 6 seats as a base. No matter how many active members we have, for every increase over 125, we can add members at large. We are not above 125 members at large, 125 active voting members at this point. So we will have 6 seats for members at large. And right now we have 7 nominees. We have Stephanie Jones, Daniel Cressman, Richard Marins, Sandy Nance, Ruby Rims, Shashank Ramshabat, and Carl Wilson. Are there any other nominations for members at large?
Yes, I'm sorry, Paul, I can't find the hand. I'd like to nominate Heather Laval for position at large.
To nominate, any seconds to that nomination?
I'll second.
Stephanie Jones seconds.
I'll
Okay, we'll
second too.
add Heather Laval to the list.
I'll second as well.
All right. Any other nominations for member at large? All right, then I will add Heather. I'm going to do this in real time, folks, so please be patient with me as I deal with open book. All right. That concludes all the nominations. So I will look for a motion to close nominations.
So moved.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. All right. So now what we're going to do is everyone, as you entered the room, people have been moving you over into a spreadsheet as an eligible voter. We currently have 29 eligible voters in the room. I'm going to send out an email from OpaVote. So you should look in your email box for an email from OpaVote. And I'm physically doing this as we talk, so please be patient. You'll receive an email. If you did not receive an email, then you will.
Can you give me a minute? People keep popping in.
Yep.
Thank you.
And I can actually keep adding, and if it's a duplicate, it will just reject it. So Stephanie, what I'm going to do is send to what I have the 26 in here right now. Start voting. So some of you will start to receive them.
Paul, would you like me to create a breakout room?
If you could, please, that'd be great. Thank you.
Paul, I know that I'm eligible, but I didn't get an email from you.
Nothing has been sent yet.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Because now I realize I'm entering in the credit card to pay the bill on the OpaVote.
Okay. Sorry.
You know, it's the best time to renew. It's when you need it the most.
You do not have to respond to the invitation that just apparently went out. I just created the breakout room.
Yeah, so only people who have concerns that they didn't receive.
Otherwise, it gives you an option to hit not now. So we can all otherwise hit not now.
Yeah. And while we're waiting for our emails, I will put the minutes from the last meeting in the chat so that you can look at those for our next item. And then there is one item of new business that Jeffrey LeFrancois will be bringing up after that.
Has the ballots been sent out?
No,
Okay.
I am working on that
Okay,
right now.
Thank you.
I will announce when
Right.
I have successfully fixed this broken system that is telling me I can't start voting because an email list is invalid or duplicate emails. Click the View Emails button on the Voters tab for more information. So I'm trying to work through it. So in the meantime, if you want to move on to other business, I'm going to keep working on this. I apologize, folks.
Well, let's look at the minutes from our last meeting, which are in the chat. And I will ask if there are any changes edits or additions to the minutes from the December 5.
You should get an email, the wedding email.
Okay, are there any changes to the minutes in the chat?
Motion to adopt.
I have a motion to adopt. Is there a second?
I second it.
Okay, all in favor of accepting the minutes from our last meeting, raise your hand electronically or digitally. Okay, put your hands down, please. Those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the minutes are adopted. Since Paul is still working on the OPA vote, let's go on to new business. And Jeffrey LeFrancois has something he'd like to share with us. Jeffrey, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Madam President. I appreciate the time, and also congratulations and thank you. How did 3 years go by in what feels like no time at all, right? So bravo and kudos to you, first of all. Second, Happy New Year to everybody. I wanted to share some exciting community planning news that's going on regarding Hudson River Park and the Manhattan Cruise Ship Terminal in 2 very exciting ways. I'm on the board of trustees of Hudson River Park, so it's near and dear to my heart. And this coming Monday, they are having a community planning and visioning session for what we're calling the Esplanade from 30th Street to 44th Street. So basically the heliport to the ferry terminal, which if you know that part of the park, it is undesirable. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasurable from a park goer or pedestrian experience. And the park has fully funded not just the planning, but the construction and design and build for this segment of the park. So if you're available, it is a really exciting opportunity to have your voice heard on what you want to see in what will be a really amazing Esplanade area to connect sort of the upper portion of Chelsea with the lower part of Hell's Kitchen. That's on Monday at 6:30. I will circulate the link so folks can have it, but you can also go on the Hudson River Park website and find this. Again, that's Monday. The second part, and perhaps even more important because we don't like the planning partner as much, the Manhattan Cruise Ship Terminal, which is north of the Intrepid to about 53rd Street. They have announced a master planning process. They were supposed to install what was called shore power beginning next year to allow ships that berth there to plug in so they're not polluting while they're docked there. But unfortunately, they've scrapped that in favor of a wider master plan. It's bad that we don't get shore power, but it's really good we get a master plan out of this, because if you know the area around the cruise ship terminal, there's no pedestrian access. It completely is divorced from the rest of the park. And again, another huge opportunity to connect Hell's Kitchen to the waterfront, and also the new amazing stuff that's happening up at Pier 97 and Clinton Clove in Hudson River Park with the rest of this new Esplanade. That is January 28th. I will also circulate the link for that. Your voices on this are incredibly important. We need to be really bold and push hard with the cruise ship terminal, because they're going to defer to Homeland Security, which at post 9/11 is the state of the cruise ship terminal. That's why there's no pedestrian access today. So it's a huge opportunity for us to get access to the water and create, really a 20-block new Esplanade along the park. So just those 2 community vision and planning announcements to everybody. I hope they can be on your calendar. This Monday, the 13th, for the Esplanade from 30th to 44th Street, and then January 28th, planning around the cruise ship terminal. So I hope to see some of you guys at them. And again, Happy New Year. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the time, Christine.
Jeffrey, those are both.
Christine,
Thank you, Jeffrey. Yes, go ahead, Paul.
So to go back to elections, and Jeffrey, that's great. Maybe we can come back to talk more about that afterwards. Do we want to have all candidates have a minute to speak?
I was getting, yes, you read my
that piece. Yeah. And
before we do that, Jackie, did you have your hand up for something? Okay. So, Paul, why don't you go ahead and continue? If you are,
yeah, I'm ready.
You're ready. Okay.
So, if we have, as you know, all the officers' positions, the only contested race we have is members at large. Would anybody be interested in entertaining a motion to waive the speeches of the uncontested races and move just to members at large, or do people want to hear from all the candidates?
I would be interested in such a motion.
To waive the speeches of the uncontested races.
Yes.
Is there a second to that? I see Marietta saying a second.
Yeah.
Is everybody all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Abstentions? All right, so let's waive the speeches for the non-contested races. So now let's move to the contest for members at large. We'll give all members at large candidates 1 minute to speak. And if I remember correctly, in alphabetical order, it starts with Stephanie Jones. Stephanie, would you like to say anything? Stephanie, maybe.
Is she still in the breakout room?
No, I'm here. Sorry. I'm very busy coordinating everyone's membership at the moment. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I have been a member of HKDems since 2017, and I have been on the executive committee for the past 3 years. I think a lot of you know me from the flower sale and various other initiatives that I've been in charge of or created over the past few years. And I am grateful for the opportunity to continue to serve as an at-large member. And I hope you will support me. And I'm now going back to behind the scenes.
Thank you, Stephanie. Next alphabetically is Dan Cressman.
Hey, everybody. Sorry, I'm in LA right now and the fires have made my throat all scratchy, but I have been on the executive committee since 2021. I'm very excited about the upcoming sort of midterm election cycle. And the last comparable election cycle, I was the director of political affairs. And as some of you may have heard, we achieved the highest number of signatures the club has ever achieved that year. So I'm excited to get going and participate in a different way this time. So I hope you'll support me. Thanks.
Next, Heather Lavelle.
You're on mute, Heather.
Heather Lavelle.
That's so unusual for me. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Paul and Christine. I took, as some of you may know, a step back in September to address some of the longstanding parental health needs that affect my parents and affected my ability to contribute. But luckily, thankfully, that those things have been resolved and I can fully recommit. Here's why I think that you may want to consider my experience with HKDems and my personal background to contribute to the EC team and to the club in general. I'm a 5-year member of the EC team, member of all the committees over the years, 3-year director of the membership committee, corresponding secretary, worked with as a judicial alternate. And I've been about, I know it sounds small, but about, I've always been about 3 or 4 absences, 5 absences for over 5 years. In terms of my personal background, that might be something for you to consider that would contribute to the club, is that I've been an HK resident since 1990. I'm a former educational administrator with the DOE NYC, lifelong LGBT and women's activist. I was actually the creator for the 2015 Manhattan-wide Transgender Youth Conference, which was a first. I also served as a Peace Corps volunteer in Southeast Asia. And I have to tell you, most importantly, I am the proud pet parent of Pancake Meow Meow.
Thank you, Heather.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate that. Rich Marins. Rich, are you still muted?
Yeah, you're muted, Rich.
You hear me? Yep. I'm a longtime Hell's Kitchen resident since 1974. I'm very proud to be a member of HKDems. We have a really, really great club and it's growing. And I look forward to being part of that and adding some leadership and outreach experience and effort to our growth over these coming years, and hope that you'll vote for me. Thank you.
Thanks, Rich. Sandy Nance. Sandy, you still muted?
Yeah, unmute please, Sandy.
Hi, I think I said it all here, so I'm not going to repeat it. If I weren't running, I would vote for any of these people. I think we're all qualified and committed. But I do want to thank Dan for reminding us that we have colleagues, friends, lovers on the West Coast who are being burned out. And I did want to, along with remembering Jimmy Carter, to remember our friends in LA. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Shashank?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Hold on, Patricia. Hold on, I'm gonna mute Patricia. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Am I good?
Yeah. Go ahead, Shashank.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Shashank. Y'all might know me by my face or by my name and might not have met me or just know me by my work through Hell's Kitchen Democrats. I've been involved with the club since around 2022. I was originally a field organizer for Carolyn Maloney's 2022 campaign, where I managed the Hell's Kitchen and Chelsea parts. And I like to say this, she might have lost her election, but I helped, coordinate with Hell's Kitchen Dems and across the neighborhood, helped, deliver at least one election district, the only election district on the west side for Carolyn those years ago. And for me, I've just wanted to keep getting involved with the club. I joined the board last year, where I was just a member at large, and I helped manage our petitioning effort. We helped deliver thousands of signatures for our slate, and I'd like to continue doing that because it's 2025. It's a pretty big election year. We got borough president, mayor, comptroller, and I feel like we could be that club that actually does make a huge difference in this election, one vote at a time. And I'd love to focus on Maine this year. Young Democrat involvement, which we did a little bit more voter registration last spring, at happy hours across 9th Avenue. And I'd love to continue initiatives like that and, really, like I said, connect young people with the neighborhood and keep Hell's Kitchen not just a place of moving and moving out, but really get people more connected with the neighborhood, because Hell's Kitchen Dems is a political club. We're a community club first. And yeah, and, as I think Paul, or anyone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I am the youngest member of Hell's Kitchen Democrats, and I'd love to keep this youthful energy along this beautiful club and keep doing what we're doing. I don't want to take up too much more time. That's all I got to say.
Appreciate that. Next, Ruby.
Well, I don't think there's anyone in this room who doesn't know who I am. So, and if you don't know who I am, God bless you. But I have had the pleasure of serving on the board for 3 years now, and it has been an experience. I have loved doing it. I really, really would like to remain on it. And I hope you'll vote for me. And I've also learned less is more. That's it.
Thanks, Ruby. And final candidate, Carl Wilson. Did Carl get here? I think I saw him on.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you. Thanks,
Great,
Paul.
thanks.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Carl Wilson. Running to be member at large, and I have had the great pleasure of serving on every iteration of the exec committee since the very first one. I have been an integral part of planning major fundraising events. I've served in many roles on the executive committee, and I'm very eager to continue building on the work that we've done and building on the political apparatus that we've built here as we enter into the city elections. And I'm very excited for us to step into this election the strongest we've ever been. And I'm very eager to keep, and I hope to keep working collaboratively with my colleagues here at the club. So hope you'll vote for me, and I look forward to continuing to serve.
Excellent. Thanks, Carl. All right, the next step in the process is that members can speak about any of the candidates. That includes all the ones that are uncontested. So everybody's given a minute to talk. And if you raise your hand, I'll call you in the order in which your hands are raised. So I see Sean has jumped first. So Sean, you can speak about your wishes on the race.
I wanted to jump in quickly to mention that for those of you who don't know, I'm lucky enough to be married to Stephanie Jones. And the success of my presidency, should I be elected, will hinge on her. So not to put any pressure on anyone, but Stephanie Jones, that's my top vote.
Thanks, Sean. Kat, you're next.
Thank you, Paul. Just give a shout out to Daniel Cressman, Stephanie Jones, Carl Wilson, Ruby Rims, for the member at large position in particular. I know all the and Richard Behrens, all the candidates are fabulous, but these five, in my opinion, oh, and Shashank, those six go far above and beyond. Shashank is a full-time undergrad at NYU, but always makes time and has been integral to involving young Asian American cohorts and many other students from NYU. And I don't see how he does it being a full-time student, but he does graciously and never complains about his time. And Stephanie has stepped up multiple times for events. Carl is an amazing event planner. And Daniel was wonderful leading the politics committee 2 years ago. He really made it a committee. And Ruby Rims is, bar none, the best petitioner in Manhattan, not to mention an amazing civil rights and, just a legendary drag performer from decades. So thank
you, Pat. Appreciate that. Dan Cressman, go ahead.
Thank you. I agree that everybody on the at-large ballot is fantastic, but just wanted to give a special shout out to Ruby Rims to echo what Kat said. Ruby is a legend in the LGBT community, and I mentioned our surpassing our highest petition number ever. Ruby was by far our #1 petition collector that year and every year, and we couldn't do it without him.
Thank you, Dan. Liz?
Yeah, hi. I'm going to take a different tack. I'd like to point out someone who you may not know very well, because I think most of us here, we work together a lot. So we know each other very well, except I'm going to point out Sandy Nance, who's relatively new to the club. But Sandy came through, this was a tough election year. We had, how shall I say, we needed a lot of help to do a lot of things. And Sandy literally took over the postcarding projects that we were doing. We called her at the last minute because there were a couple snafus, and we needed someone to organize it. And Sandy took it on board. She ran with it. She did this for like 2 months solid, and it was behind the scenes. And I just want to give her accolades for it, because she's really one of those volunteers that when you call on her, she does it. She has follow through. So she's definitely getting my vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Next, Jackie Lowry.
I wanted to second what Liz just said. When Liz and I each had our issues in late July, early August, we called upon Sandy, and she just jumped right in, knowing nothing about what she was getting into, but she really was a trooper about it. And additionally, she also has been very instrumental on doing research on the casino issue. And she typed up many notes about the research on the casino issue. So for those two reasons, please consider Sandy Nance when you're voting. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. And always great to see you. Your hair looks great.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I have no choice about it, so good.
Carl Wilson.
Thank you. Just would also like to speak briefly in support of Stephanie, who has been like a lifeline for me as like my comrade on the events committee this last year. Has tons of dedication and attention to detail, and is just a wonderful addition to the club. So I hope you'll vote for her. I'd also like you to vote for Ruby Rims, whose dedication to the club is like unmatched in many ways. There is something to be said for collecting the most petition signatures. I mean, that alone is a core function of the club and what we do. And I just think that speaks to his dedication and heart, and I hope he gets to continue to serve. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Dan Rosemarin?
Yes, okay. First, I want to say all excellent candidates, those who are running opposed, unopposed, and I'm so proud to be part of this organization and thrilled by the relationships that I've developed. And related to that, I do want to speak very fondly of Heather, who was enormously committed, resourceful, energetic, and visionary in her role as the chairperson of the membership committee. And I think that should be remembered and considered as well here. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Heather?
Sorry. I wanted to thank Danny, who's always been stalwart for the last actually 45 years in everything. He always shows up. And I think that has to be recognized, even though he's not running for anything. But Alita, I wanted to recognize, because during 2024, that was such a difficult job to do that she did. She had to respond same day in real time to whatever was going on. And I thought she did an amazing job. So I just wanted to, I know she's running unopposed, but I wanted to recommend Alita. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Marietta?
I just want to say that Sandy Nance is a rock star. Shawshank, I adore. Carl, phenomenal. Wait a minute. All of you guys who are running. Let me see who else here. Richard Marin. There's Ruby Rim. Fabulous. So I just want to say I'm voting for them.
I don't see another hand up for this minute, so I'm going to take the opportunity for myself to speak as a member. I'm going to start my clock. So again, I applaud everyone who's running. It's remarkable. Working with everybody has been terrific. It's probably the longest standing member of the executive committee now. Some have been longer in the club, but have been on and off this committee. My 6 votes for at large are Stephanie Jones for her remarkable ability to step up at any time and fill in all the gaps. Rich Marins for his longevity in the neighborhood and commitment to this club. Sandy Nance, again, for stepping up and organizing an amazing postcard party and her commitment to the community. Shashank as the youngest member and new to us since a very controversial endorsement that we did and has stood by our side. Ruby Rims, petitioning. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. The drag queen of America can do more petitions than anybody else I've ever seen. And Carl Wilson for amazing energy and commitment to this club. So Stephanie, Richard, Sandy, Shashank, Ruby, and Carl. Oh, 1 minute. Damn, I'm good. All right. Does anybody else have any comments to make about this race? Otherwise, we'll close down commentary. At this point, you all should have received an email. We've sent out 41 ballots. So go look in your email and vote. For each race, you have the opportunity to click on the name of the candidate. When you get to at large, what you have to do is slide the 6 candidates you want to vote for into the ballot and then click vote from there. So when you open it up, you'll see that there are 8 names for at large. You drag the names in that you want to vote for. And then once you put those names into that list, you can then hit vote.
It is ranked choice too, I believe, Paul. So make sure you rank in order.
There's a column that says add. And so you find the name you want to add and you add it.
I'm so sorry. I still haven't got the email. It's Patricia O'Neill.
Patricia O'Neill. Stephanie, is Stephanie in this room or is she in the other room?
I'm here.
Okay.
I don't have the email either. Did it come from Opa Vote, from you? Where's it coming from?
Opa Vote. And
this is my promotions folder.
Yeah,
So
make
look in-
sure you
I don't have
look
that.
in your
Hold on,
track.
hold on.
Guys,
Everyone, please, hold
please
on.
don't
Everyone,
all, yeah,
please,
talk at the same
please,
time.
one at a time. When everyone talks over, it's challenging. Look in if you're in Gmail folder, look in the other folders, because sometimes it gets moved into promotions. I know mine moved into what's called unsubscribe. And then if there are other individual challenges, we can look to see like Alita. I don't even, Alita. Stephanie, I don't see Alita's name on this list. Did you move her in? And again, we apologize. So Alita, let's check on yours. Kevin, your hand is up.
Yeah, I don't have it, Paul.
I don't either.
Hold on, please, one at a
Okay.
time, because I'm looking at 3 screens. Somebody's saying me neither. I can't see it until because I'm on the screen.
Just guys, raise your hands.
Yeah, Paul, are you on you're on the OPA vote sheet? I'm highlighting in red those who.
Terrific. Yep. Thank
And
you.
again, thank you everyone for your patience. This is not a perfect system, so
Yes.
we
So
appreciate some grace.
Patricia O'Neill, yours went to PAO'Neill404@gmail. Is that the correct email for you?
It's PAONEIL0404
That's where it was sent.
Okay, yes, I haven't received it, and I've checked all of the extraneous files.
I'll try to resend it.
Thank you.
Kevin Collins.
Yeah, Paul, I'm Kevin Collins, NYC@hotmail.com.
Kevin Collins, NYC@hotmail.com. That also was sent to that address.
Okay, I'll check again. Thank you.
Yeah. I see. PA O'Neill 0404@gmail. Okay. Sent. Christine.
Yes, neither Lisa Pinto nor I have received our email ballots.
So Christine, we're using cgormanhealth@gmail.
Correct. And
I
Lisa?
have mine. I got mine. Thanks.
Okay.
Who just said that? I'm sorry. I don't have the Zoom screen open. So somebody just speaking out of line. I can't see.
Yes, it's Lisa Pinto, and I did get mine. Thanks.
Okay,
Paul.
thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. Ruby. Ruby, I can't.
Yeah.
Your rubyrims@aol.com.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
That has been sent. Sending it a second time. Anybody else having challenges still?
I don't have that.
Alita, again, can you use your electronic hand? It's really hard to flip between Zoom, a Google spreadsheet, and OpaVote all at the same time. So
Paul Devlin, did you get Paul Davis at the end of the list also?
I don't have it.
I have Alita and Paul Davis.
I voted.
Please, not yet. Alita, I just resent yours.
I just wanted to make a comment when you're ready.
Let me just do one more thing and then I can come back over to the Zoom screen.
So Kevin Collins and Ruby Rims, you both still have your hands raised. Did you receive your ballot? Kevin Collins, go ahead.
I'm voting now.
Kevin Collins did not receive it.
Okay. But Ruby Rims, you
Yes.
did.
Yeah, sorry, I'm voting.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so I see in OPA that I've sent ballots and they have not been voted on yet. Is Catbot 147, C. Gorman Health, Devlin, I know I haven't voted yet. Danny Rosemarin, Alita, Jacqueline and Paul Wedding, November 12, Lerner 365, Nance New York, P. Davis 28, Ruby Rims AOL, and Tanner Mel 1946. So if I read those names, that means the system is saying that it's been sent to you. Kevin, did you get yours?
No, hey, Paul, you know what? I just realized that his was missing. There was a spelling error in his email address. Can you
Oh,
re-add
I see.
it?
Okay. Can you?
Thank you, Stephanie.
There we go, Kevin. I see him now. All right, Kevin, I'm going to resend yours.
Thanks, Paul.
So if I read the email address that was sent, that means it was sent. If you don't have it in, it's something in your end, not our end. So I still have, oh, all right. I'm going to pause for 1 second so I can vote.
Yeah, and if I can just vamp for a minute. I know this has been a really long year and everyone has worked really hard, but I also know how much energy was out there on the campaign trail. And if you have any photographs of you or anyone from the club out there for the year, can you please send those photographs to HKDemsnyc@gmail.com so that we can start to include them in our end of year slideshow, our website. If you send them to us, I assume we have your permission to use them on the website. But we love to see all of you out there doing the hard work and reflecting that back in the literature that we put out there.
If I could just say one thing about just congratulating everybody who's served and who's running right now. Everyone is wonderful. And for members at large, we have a contested race because we just don't have enough members to have as many members at large as we might possibly have. So I'm not sure if everybody's aware of that. The more members we have, I'm sorry, can you mute? Can you just turn your volume down? The more members we have in the club, the more members at large we are able to elect. Just turn the volume down. Sorry, guys. Amateur hour. So I just want to thank everybody who's here, who's running, and think everybody is an amazing and qualified. And I'm sorry that everyone can't have a slot this time around because we've failed to increase our membership. But you guys are all wonderful, and look forward to seeing everybody at our upcoming fundraiser, which I assume Carl will talk about in a few minutes.
But everyone can volunteer.
Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say. If you do not make your position as member at large, please stay involved and please come and volunteer. We need every single body. We can't afford to lose anyone.
Before Carl speaks, can I just point out, I have Kevin Collins and a learner as learner365@gmail is not voted.
Paul, I just submitted it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry. This is Kevin. Thank you.
Yep, I see it. Learner365 is the last one. Carl?
I did vote. Paul, can everyone hear me?
You did? You voted?
Yeah.
And you went down to the confirm button at the bottom of your screen?
Yes, I did. I thought I did.
It's not showing as registered as vote.
How about now?
Let me refresh. Okay, there, it's done now. Okay.
Thanks.
I was talking in I was muted. I was like halfway into my little thing until I realized no one could hear me. Anyway, I'm excited to let everyone know that we are going to be having our winter gala fundraiser, our annual event on the 22nd of this month. That's going to be that's Wednesday, January 22nd. It's from 6 to 8 at Verse, the venue we have historically done it at. This year, we're very proud to honor Democratic Party leader Keith Wright as our honoree, who's been a central figure in Democratic politics here in Manhattan, but in the whole city. And we're also going to be hosted by club member and founding president Marty Gold Cummings, who will be hosting emceeing the evening for us. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is a ticketed event. If you go on the club's webpage, there is a page up to it right now where you can purchase the tickets. The member price is $25. So if you are a dues paid member, which I suspect today most people on this call are, you can purchase a $25 $65.
Sorry, I might just had a heart attack. No.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Excuse me.
Same.
No, 65. It's a $65 ticket for members, and then for non-members, it begins at $125.
But
It's a
if
really
you are
great.
willing to volunteer at the
Correct.
event.
And we are happy to accept some day of volunteers, which of course would get to attend the event as well. We'll have a flyer that everybody can circulate very, very shortly. It's a very fun event. We always have a really great time, and it's a really great opportunity to rally together for future democratic causes here in Hell's Kitchen. So look forward to seeing everybody there.
Just to clarify, if you do volunteer, you can attend for free. So we can only have a certain number of volunteers, so sign up as soon as possible if you want to attend for free.
So Alita, where should they sign up?
Right to HKDems email.
Okay, while Paul is busy with Open Vote, I'll recognize Kat Lafferty, followed by Danny Rosemarin.
Thank you, Christine. So as the corresponding secretary for the past 3 years, I just want to encourage everyone, if you have a change in your email, or if you have friends who've moved away who were HKDems members, but who are no longer in Hell's Kitchen, and please encourage them to just send an email to the HKDems Gmail. I've been ecstatic already this year, we've had emails to our Gmail, to our HKDems Gmail, letting us know that people have moved. And I was really touched that they took the time to do that. But we're really trying to keep our membership roles really up to date. So that would be a great help. And then secondly, if you have something that you want to announce to our HKDems community, or you need volunteers for, or you just have an event like Jeffrey let us know about 2 upcoming events, you can also send an email to the HKDems Gmail, and I can make sure that our communications coordinator gets it, and that we e-blast it if it's appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. And now Danny.
Yeah, hi, this is just a procedural record-keeping issue. It would be helpful for those of you who are on the Zoom, if your first and last name do not appear in the Zoom on the screen, if you could change it to your first and last name so that we have an accurate record of who showed up later on when we need to verify your attendance and eligibility to vote, if possible. If you don't, we could rectify it later, but it would be helpful. That's all. Thank you.
I just changed my name. So thank you, Danny. That's a very, probably we should remind people at every meeting because you're taking attendance.
Okay, folks. Voting is closed and results are in. Is everybody ready, or do we want more conversation? So for president, we have elected Sean Coughlin. Congratulations. For vice president, Liz Keefe. For membership and outreach, Leslie Bogasian Murphy. For communications, Rob Madsen. For events, Alita Lafarge. For political director, Kevin Collins. For treasurer, Barbara Connect. For corresponding secretary, Kat Lafferty. For recording secretary, Danny Rosemarin. For at-large in alphabetical order, Stephanie Jones, Heather Lavelle, Rich Marins, Sandy Nance, Shashank Shamsabad, and Ruby Rims. that closes our elections.
Great. Well, let me be the first to congratulate the 2025 Executive Committee of Hell's Kitchen Democrats. And without further ado, I'll turn over the moderating duties to our newly elected president, Sean Coughlin. Congratulations, Sean.
Thank you, Christine. And I just echo the thanks and congratulations that everyone had regarding your incredible tenure as president. Really, really grateful. We are go ahead and close our breakout rooms so that everyone is all back in here. Perfect. Now, didn't have anything much more to add to this evening's meeting. I want to create an opportunity afterwards if the newly elected members of the executive committee can stay on for a few more minutes to have a conversation about the excitement of moving forward in that regard. You know, I want to, obviously, Kat, I'll go ahead and turn things over to you for whatever you have to offer in a moment. But I wanted to thank everyone for coming, spending your evening with us, lending your voice to this process. We're in for a very exciting couple of months here locally, and I'm very excited to have all of you on board. Kat?
Thanks, Sean. So first, I just wanted to ask Jeffrey or to whomever he sent the event details about the two events he mentioned. If Jeffrey's still on the call, could he share them? Could you share the details, and are they both on Zoom? But you said you were going to share it in the chat. Maybe
Yep, I can share it in the chat, or I can send it to the general email. I'd love to be able to share the one for Monday in tonight's chat so folks have it. They're actually both are in person. One is at the Intrepid and the other one is at the cruise ship terminal, actually Pier 88. So I will drop the link and hopefully it can get shared with everybody publicly for the one on Monday. Thanks, Kat.
Okay, and then the one farther away, if you can always send it to the Gmail as well as in the chat, and then I can share it more widely.
Thanks.
And then secondly, I just wanted to echo what Sean said. Christine, you were invaluable, and I certainly appreciate all the work that you did, and thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Kat, and thank you, Jeffrey, for sharing that information. If there is nothing else for this evening in regards to the general, hold on, yep, I see Alita. Hold on, Paul. Go ahead, Alita.
Oh, just that the chat is not public. And if Jeffrey, if you're posting that, maybe somebody who has access can repost it.
I was going to send it to Stephanie and then
Okay.
hopefully she could make it public. Is that okay?
Yeah, because
Thanks, Alita.
Have that too. Thanks. Actually, can you email me if you have a flyer? Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Alita. Paul?
Sean, I just want to talk about the general membership, the February meeting and the endorsement process and what we're going to be doing going between now and February.
Great point. Thank you.
So at our February meeting is when we announce our endorsements for all the candidates at the city level. So we have a mayor's race, DA race, public advocate, borough president, city council. All those races we will want to make endorsements in so that they can be put onto our petitions in February. Petitioning starts on February 25th for the June primary. So in order to be put onto our petitions, the club has to do an endorsement. So at our next meeting, we will be making an endorsement vote. Between now and the February meeting, there will be a series of candidate forums because I think there are 31 candidates for mayor, and there are multiple candidates at every level and many races. Rather than having everybody come to the February meeting to present to the club, we work with either other clubs or independently to create forums that people will then be invited to. So we'll likely have a mayor's forum, a comptroller forum, a borough president forum. And so to ask people to pay attention to invitations to those in the next 3 or 4 weeks, attend as many of those as possible, and then be prepared to make an endorsement vote at our February meeting. We will work with the executive committee and the district leaders from the other clubs to find the best way to make this information available to all of you as smoothly as possible. And if anybody has any interest in helping out with candidate forums, please let me know and we can plug you into that. Any questions on the endorsement process for next month?
Great. Thank you, Paul. And thank you for all of the work that you and Adrian have put into this so far, and I know are going to be putting into this. So unless there's anything else, I will go ahead and entertain a motion to adjourn this general membership meeting. And then again, request that all the newly elected 2025 executive committee members please remain on. Can I hear a motion to adjourn the general membership meeting, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Do anyone
That's
second
Sean.
that?
Second.
I'll second it.
All right, thank you, Kat. All in favor?
Aye.
Resounding ayes. All opposed? None? Oh, shoot. All right, well, thank you all. That ends this general membership meeting. And again, if the newly elected executive committee can hang on to chat, I would appreciate it. Thank you all.
Congrats, everyone.
Everyone. Good night, everyone.
Good there. Good there. Gonna ask. Paul Davis, if you wouldn't mind logging out for me. I don't want to remove you because it makes it so you can't rejoin future meetings.